Okay. Good evening, everybody. You're welcome to this week's Technical Forex Outlook with by Trading Pro Nigeria Limited, hosted by Great White. So to this week, we're going to be looking into the technical FX for Outlook for the 13th to 17th of May. And as you all know, this is being brought to you by Trading Pro Nigeria Limited. Trading Pro is an international award-winning broker with 7 years of brokerage experience, offering several amazing account types. We have sent accounts known as rookie accounts for beginners. We have swap accounts, swap-free accounts. So for those who trade long-term, maybe swing traders, you don't pay swap on these accounts. And we also have low spread accounts. Low spread accounts. Our spread for gold on most of our accounts is 1.5 opening leverage for a mini lot size. And also for those who might want to earn but might not have the time to trade, we also offer copy trade and palm account services. We also offer learning. We are currently offering training services at our office. Currently offering training services at our office at Allen, number 2 Allen, doing baby roundabout. And we also offer advanced classes for advanced students every Wednesday at 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. We also offer WhatsApp communities for trade reviews, outlook, trade ideas, and trade signals. So let's get into what we have for this week. So going into this week, we're going to start off with the economic calendar. Looking at the economic calendar, we are going to have a lot of high impact news going into this week. We have New Zealand on Monday, US dollar on Tuesday. We have core PPI, and Fed chairman is speaking by 3 p.m. Then on Wednesday, we have CPI. This news is as volatile as non-farm payroll and FOMC. So we need to be aware of that. On Thursday, we have high impact Aussie news, unemployment change and unemployment rate. Then on same Thursday, we have US unemployment claims. That's what we have on this week going forward. So as always, we're going to start off with the US 100, which is empty force variation of NASDAQ. We have the dollar index, Euro USD, GBP USD, gold, Euro pound, pound yen, and Euro yen. So let's start off on the weekly. So how did the US 100 close last week? As it closed bullish into this range, because of the close below this big bullish engulfing candle. I'm still tilting on the weekly that this might still move lower because this low made this high and it was broken by this move. So this up move was what was used to break this move. But for now, if we go into the daily, price is still looking bullish, but it's deep within this zone. So we can see we have this last up candle before this down move that broke it. So already Friday had a long upper wick, which points to possible weakness. So if we go down to the 4-hour time frame, going down to the 4-hour time frame, we have what looks like a swing is forming here. Looking at the 1-hour time frame, for this to what you need to notify you that this is moving to the downside will be basically a break of this low, because we already have this low has been broken, but we don't have a strong close below this low yet. We don't have a strong close below this low yet. So what you'll be waiting for going into this week to tell you that price may continue to the downside before moving back up is something like this: a retracement, then a move lower. So going into Monday, we might see a down move. That's a down move before a continuation to the upside, if it will continue to the upside. Because if you look at this on the daily or even on the 4-hour, look to the left, price is within this big structure point here. So the possibility is that we might start seeing lower prices going into next week. So the next one we're going to be looking at is the dollar index. Dollar index, it's giving mixed signals. Dollar index is giving mixed signals. If we look at the dollar index on the weekly, it closed as an inside candle. Closed as an inside candle out of this order blocker. And if we notice, we've had a close, not so strong, but we've had a close above this bearish order block. So that in and of itself turns price bullish. If we go down to the daily, we already have a close above this point. So this was a break above and a retracement. So as long as this low at 103.91 remains on the daily, the bias on the dollar index is still tilted to the upside. So if we drop down to the 4-hour time frame, what we have on the 4-hour time frame, I think I spoke about something last week on Friday, or something I spoke about on Friday about what you refer to as an inverted fair value gap. So we have this high, we have this low. We have one candle down, one candle up. And if you notice, price found support. Price at no time closed below that level. Let me get this well positioned. Price at no time, if you look at this carefully, price at no time closed below this level at 105.20. So the possibility exists that going into this new week, and if you look at this again on Friday, we have the sweep of this liquidity and the close above. So the possibility is that once price closes above this bearish order block has been taken out by price. So we might see higher prices going into next week, targeting this fair value gap and this point at 105.74. So that's it for the dollar index. The next pair we're going to be looking at is EURUSD. Let's keep our mics on mute. If you have background noise, let's keep our mics on mute. So looking at the Euro USD from the weekly, this pair is bearish. This pair is bearish. We don't have a new high. We don't have a new high yet. Price is breaking lows. And this bullish order block here, we already have a close below it. We already have a close below it. So if we go down to the daily, on the daily, it's giving something like a bullish signal, but it might still tilt to the downside. We have this up candle before this down move that broke this level here. So looking at this, if we drop down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see that price has not made any new high yet. If we go down to the 1 hour, you're going to see what I want to show you on the 1 hour. So we had a sweep above the high. We had a sweep above this high, but we didn't get a body close above it. If you notice, we didn't get a body close above it. And we had a rejection. So looking at this on the lower time frame, we might just see a move to fill this imbalance and further move to the downside. So going into this new week, we're still, the outlook on the Euro USD is bearish, as we have a bullish outlook on the dollar index. The next pair we're going to be looking at is the GBPUSD. So looking at the GBPUSD from the weekly, if we look at this pair from the weekly, we can see that it's still tilted to the downside. We still have a bearish outlook on this pair. we have a break below this lows. Price bounced off this bullish order block, but it didn't make a new high. So it's still tilted to the downside. If we go into the daily, we'd notice that price is rejecting from this daily fair value gap down to the 4-hour time frame. We have this structure point here and this one in particular that price has not been able to close above. But if you look closely at this 4-hour time frame, there's something you would notice there. We have this 4-hour candle here that was a range candle. If you notice, it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 4-hour candles within its body before the break. So this might be a break, and what we're looking at is a retracement because we don't have a significant close back into this 4-hour range. So the possibility is that we might see lower prices on this pair to probably target 1.2446. If it gets heavy, then we'll be looking at 24.24 on the downside. So for GBPUSD, the bias is still tilted to the downside. The next one we're going to be looking at is gold. So if we start gold from the weekly closed as a bullish engulfing candle. So which points to the fact that we might be seeing a retest of a high on the weekly. If we go down to the daily time frame, we'll notice that price is within this other block structure pointing. Within this other block structure points. So it's not a good place to start looking for longs. When we come to the 4-hour, we can clearly see that we are in a bullish setup of a sort. We have a clean break above it. So the possibility expects there is a possibility that going into this week, we might see a move down for a continuation to the upside. So if we put in our notations, we'll be looking at price to probably come into any of these fair value gaps, find support, and continue to the upside. So going into the new week, we might see a down move for a continuation, probably to come for this high at 24.02. So, but as long as this low at on the 4-hour, as long as price is above 23.04, the bias is still to the upside. So on the 1-hour, the signal that the down correction has started will be a close below 23.56. So once that happens, you'll be looking for something like this, a retracement, and move lower to fill all these fair value gaps down below as possible targets for gold. So the next one we're going to be looking at is the euro pound. The euro pound is important because it gives you a bias of the overall strength of the euro against the British pound. So you have an idea if the pound is stronger or the euro is stronger. So looking at this on the weekly, we have a bullish close on the euro pound. On the 4-hour, on the daily, we still have a bullish outlook because we still have a close above 86.02. So this was a break, a deep retracement, and this low is still active at 85.20. So the possibility is that this might still move slightly to the upside. We might see a bit of a run to the upside. So what is going to confirm that is a close. Let's put our notations. A close above this high. Because if you notice, there's a range candle here on the 4-hour. That is this doji here. So once we get a break and close above it, something like this, retracement, then we possibly would see higher prices on the euro pound, which will give euro strength and pound weakness. So the next one we're going to be looking at is pound yen. For now, this pair is still bullish. It's still bullish. If you look at it, let's remove everything. If we look at it from the weekly, it's still looking bullish. Price dipped into this other block and it's creating this bounce. If we go down to the daily, we don't have a new low. We don't have a new low, but we're watching to see if price will get to this daily imbalance here. But if you look at it on the 4-hour, the 4-hour has what looks like it's sort of a bearish formation, but it's not so solid because this is a range candle. If you notice, this high to this low, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Before price came to the low, and there was no significant break of the low before this pullback. So where price is now, the possibility exists that price may still move down. This is your key level, 193.91. As long as price stays above this level, the buyers on pound yen is still bullish, and we might see higher prices on this pair. So the next pair we're going to be looking at is the euro yen. The same buyers as the pound yen. It's still tilting to the upside. Most likely, price is going for 168.68. So that settles it for this week's outlook. Is there any pair anybody who want me to look at that I didn't look at? Hello? Is there any pair anybody who want me to look at before we call it a night? Any questions?
Hello, sir.
Yes?
How does this NASDAQ move?
It
Is it
moves like gold.
opposite to? Okay, moves like gold.
It moves as fast as gold. But you see, there's one thing
No,
you
no,
need
I'm
to...
not talking about the fastness. I'm talking about the direction. As in, if gold is buying, NASDAQ is
No.
buying.
What you need to do is you just understand structure. Once you understand structure, you trade what you see on structure. If you look at NASDAQ now, if you look at NASDAQ, let's go back to NASDAQ. We have this set of highs here. You understand? And as long as on NASDAQ, like I said, it might drop before continuing to the upside. So you just need to be watching the highs and the lows. If price is making new lows, that means you're looking at a bearish setup. It's irrespective of what gold is doing, because sometimes they might move together, sometimes they might not move together.
Is it controlled by dollar?
Yes, to an extent, sometimes yes, but sometimes it does not.
Mm.
Sometimes they move together, sometimes they don't. So it's just best you trade what you see on the chart and don't try to do correlation, because sometimes the correlation might not work and you run into trouble.
Okay.
Any other question? So in the absence of any other question, I wish everybody a beautiful weekend and a lovely trading week ahead. So thank you all for taking your time to attend, and good night.
Good night, sir.